Okay, so just to recap, the topic today is how to set and achieve challenging goals and implement effective change in using what we call Balvin. Come to what is Balvin in a while. 什么叫贝尔宾？我们一会儿会给大家做一个讲解。But generally, what we want to do is what are some of the team goals that you'd like to achieve for your team this year, and if there are any challenges that you face. And by the way, what we do is we'll have a QR code at the end of the session, so you can scan it and just key in 0222, which is today's date, and you can get a copy of the PPT. So you don't have to take up everything, you don't have to take pictures of me, not me, but the slides, right? So what are some of the goals that you would like to have your team to achieve for this year? What are some of the challenges that you think you may face? Anyone wants to go first?
要先分享，就我们今年要达到怎么样的一些目标呢？在达到这个目标就是团队目标，那又会遇到哪些方面的一些挑战或者突破
Yes.
英文还是中文？
都可以。
Actually, normally, at the beginning of the year, in our company, we try to build the human two type of value.
Okay.
One we call it hard function.
Okay.
Something
Numbers.
like KPI.
Yes.
And also another type of we call soft.
Yes.
There is some program.
Right.
The challenge we face, as you know, we try to balance the long term with short term with
Yes.
the hard feedback and soft.
Yes.
But in the reality, when you set up some hard feedback,
Yes.
it's easy.
Yes.
But sometimes, you will face the situation, you will sacrifice some long term
Yeah.
to achieve this
Yes.
hard and short term.
Yes.
So we try to set up some long term program
Yeah.
to balance. But for such a long term program, it's difficult to measure.
Right. Right.
So we try to balance, but I think not very well.
Sure. Do you have different people in your team in charge of different things to achieve your goals?
Normally, among my team there are two type of person.
Right.
One type person is something like plant manager.
Okay.
He has some direct responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit easier.
Sure.
And also there are some functional people report to me.
Sure.
Such as HSE, consulting.
Right.
Sometimes people are difficult.
Right.
Direct.
Sure. Okay, so you got different people. What about here? Any goals that you want to achieve for this year? And what challenges you face?
I speak Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese okay. I'll translate.
我觉得目标就不讲了，就是说挑战我们可以谈一下啊，就是大的来讲就首先来讲，可能就是你刚才讲的是，可能不同的人可能会有不同的一个 target 就是你的老板跟你的想法不一样，你的团队里面可能每个人不一样就是你的下属他也不一样，然后是销售跟 marketing 两个团队可能想法都不一样。如果说像我管销售跟市场可能比较好，有些公司它可能在销售跟市场分开的时候，一般marketing 的人会把这个 target 一般会设的相对，通常来讲会设的相对比较高。销售员的话呢，他可能会从一个可能是他了解市场，另外一种还有一种事业角度，他可能会把它设的相对比较低是的，因为他因为高的话对他来讲总是有挑战的嘛，他可以设的低一点，他可能会达成他可能有可能会超过，他会觉得比较。团队里面的话也是不同的一个成员，他也会有自己的他也是会，你是他老板，他可能也会认为你是的有点高然后这是从那个不同的想法，然后呢，另外来讲，这种目标，现在很多挑战的话就是当客户的需求。就是说从外部来讲，整个的竞争环境不一样，客户的需求、市场的环境变化，然后呢，就是说，竞争对手的这种不同。那内部来讲，你的资源的瓶颈是吧？有很多不同的挑战，你设定比方你要完成，打比方讲一个100个 million 那内部来讲的话，就是说，你可能会从一个是人员了，第二呢，你说 你的新产品有没有新产品，或者有产品来 match 这个需求，然后呢，就是说你的产能，
所以就综合各个方面的一些因素，
产能够不够，能不能及时的 deliver 是吧？等等说各方面的资源的选择，就是有时候可能比较泛一点但是可能考虑的可能会比较多一点。
So in general, just so for translation and for summary as well, in general, there are a few things to consider. One thing is the key challenges in a goal is how you get agreement in the team on what goals we want to set. Right, so you got different people pulling different directions. So there will be how to get agreement on that. The second part is how do you then get different people to do what they need to do to achieve the goals, right? And of course, you got to think about what are some of the resources that you have that will allow you to achieve the goals. You got to think about some of the competitive pressures, as in what could be a suitable goal that you want to achieve. Right, so these are some of the factors that are very good. This is some of the factors that we will look into when achieving goals. So briefly, three things that we'll do. We'll talk about teams and we'll talk about what are some of the Belbin team roles. It's not about goal. You set a goal and you achieve yourself. It's about how do you get the team to achieve the goal. So it's a bit more complicated. And you got to think about how do you gain issues on buy-in. How do you get people to agree to the goals. You got to think about what are some of the key things that how to allocate the right tasks for the right people, right? So these are some issues that we will look into. So the first thing is Belbin team roles, and just to illustrate, this is Professor Belbin. This is the person. The reason we call Belbin is because it's named after the person. So the whole idea that came about for Belbin team roles, and the whole idea of achieving team goals versus achieving individual goal is this. Once upon a time, this Professor Belbin was working in Cambridge University, 剑桥大学教授. Right, so he was there, and we know Cambridge is a very prestigious university. 剑桥大学就基本上就是什么全是学霸. Right, it's a very prestigious university. So you got people with highly capable students studying in Cambridge University. So the university then, it's in the 60s, 60年代的一些情况. They wanted to do a certain project, right? We've got students coming together, do a certain project, do some fundraising for charity. So that was the whole idea, right? And at the end of the period to raise funds, guess how much this group of students raised? 就我们一群学生就要做一个筹款就剑桥大学学生要做筹款，然后有一个时限，然后过了这个时限，大家觉得这群学生筹了多少款 ？Cambridge University students come together to raise some funds. At the end of the period, guess how much do they raise in terms of funding? Take a guess. $1 million, okay. Any other guesses? 筹了100万。有没有其他不同的一些想法？剑桥大学的高材生就来筹款。$1 million, and any other guesses? How much do you think they raised at the end of the period for a bunch of Cambridge University highly capable students? 有没有其他数额？猜一下，随便猜。100, 1000万，10 million, 100. Okay, the answer is 0. 1分钱没收到。Right, so they did. So actually that prompted people to think, why is it that we've got highly intelligent people coming together and then couldn't achieve anything? Right, so that goes into a lot of thinking, and it found that way back in the 60s, there were a lot of assessments done. They were assessing just on the individual's capability. 就是我们很多测评只测个人的能力。It's only assessing the individual's capabilities. It does not, or till then, it did not go into how do you know that you put very capable people, very intelligent people into a team. How do you know that? How do you assess that team's performance? Okay, so that went into thinking, and this professor went into some kind of research. And anyone here familiar with business simulation? 这边有没有人做过沙盘模拟？ Okay, basically it's a board game that we simulate the whole entire operations. We'll think about
how much raw materials you need to buy, how much machinery you need to get, what are the orders you want to get, what is your receivables, and so on. 就是要办公就模拟整个那个制造业的一个流程 right? So that's a business simulation. But way back in the 60s, there were no business simulation. There are no such board games to get people to do something. So the only thing that that this professor could do is to play a game of Monopoly. 这个 game 就百万富翁叫也要那个大富翁，就玩那个桌游啊，就是百万富翁。这个 game Monopoly. It's just that it is played in a slightly different way. When we play Monopoly, everyone will take a character, right? 每个人就扮演一个棋子 everyone will take a piece. So in this case, because we are researching on teams, so we actually play as teams. So it's teams versus teams. Each team will take one piece. 每个团队会拿一个棋子 team of 4 or 5 people, right? So that's how it's been played out, and it's been played one shot for about 5 days. So instead of you play an afternoon of Monopoly, you play the continuous of 5 days. So it's just to get people playing in teams, observe their behaviors, and see what kind of team dynamics are there, and what happens to the teams. Eventually, there are certain things that are observable, and we found that the teams, after observing them for one morning, on Monday morning we observe them, we can, the professor and people who are keen to observe can actually tell with about 80% accuracy who will be the winning team on Friday afternoon. Okay, so there's certain things. One of the key findings is that if your team are the people who think very much alike, right? If you have a team that everybody kind of behaves the same, think the same, act the same, you tend not to win. But still, if you have, coming back to the Cambridge University students, there are 3 main categories of team behavior. You have the people who like to take action. You have the people who like to make social connection, and you have the people who like to think. 如果说这团队的角色大概有3大分类啊，就是有些是比较行动类的，有些是社交类的，有些是思考类的。So you have a bunch of university students and high-end top university students. What do you think which type they belong to? Action, social, or thinking? 如果我们是那个什么高材生啊，是社交类的比较多，行动类的比较多，还是思考类的比较多？思考类吧 ，thinking. That's how they got into the school, right? If they are not thinking, they won't go into Cambridge in the first place, right? So this are thinking. So when you have a team of people who are always thinking, what's going to happen? No action. No action. So not only no action, not only that, there's no action. They are trying to prove to one another that their idea is the best idea. So they're always research and always debating as well. Right? So they are debating on is my idea is better than yours, your idea is not as good as mine, and so they're still debating, discussing, analyzing, researching, and no action. Right? So that was what happens. Also, if you have too many people who are action, we like to take action, but if you have too many people who are action-oriented, what's going to happen? No thought process, what is the right action, what is a good action, what else? Actions may not be coordinated, so everybody did their own little thing, right? Or they fight. As in, I want to prove my action is better than yours. Okay, so those are the kinds of issues that if you put the wrong kinds of people in the team, you may have a great goal, but you may not achieve it. Right? So that's a key thing. So when we put people in a team, and this is the kind of finding. When you go into a team, whether the team is a work team at work, or even if I want to put you in tables like this, the moment you go into a team, there will be a certain kind of behaviors that you will take as part of the team. 人一旦到了团队，不管是工作团队，还是我们在外面如果打球的一些团队，还是我们把大家分为这2组这样子一个团队，你一旦到了团队，你的这些就是你的行为会随着团队的一个，比方说分工啊、角色啊，会有所改变。Right? We will adapt to the team. So in that team role, basically you will have a tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with others. right? We'll have this tendency. 我们会有一些某些方面的行为的倾向性。So what do we mean by what do I mean by tendency 倾向性什么意思呢 ？So anyone here actually write with your left hand？ 每个人用左手写字。Okay, we're all right-handed. So this is what we'll do. So can we have a pencil? We have paper. So can we lift the pencil with our left hand? Okay, 就左手拿起笔。And if you have a Chinese name, if you have a Chinese name, write your Chinese name with your left hand. Lucy 要做多次，手练。
Can I write it in English?
Yes, please. The other time when we do this exercise, we got some time on English, and it's really bad. Right. So, what if you've done writing your name using your other hand, your left hand? This is what we do. I think we'll have three criteria to evaluate. Number one, how does the output look like? 我们产出的结果如何？写出来的字如何？Ugly. Some people are more positive, right? Some people say, I can still read it. 还能看，能看懂。Right? We will still legible, right? So that's the output. Number two, how do you describe the efficiency or the productivity? 效率如何 Slow, right? So it's going to be slower than your other hand. And also the third one is that how do you feel? Difficult. Right? The key thing is awkward. Right? So it's a bit awkward writing with your other hand. So we have, in a way, we have a natural tendency to use our right hand. Right? We tend to use our master hand. But on the other hand, if we really want to use our left hand, is it doable? Yeah, we still can. I mean, it's slower, it's not as good, but if you want to do it, it's still doable. So in terms of team roles, we tend to have certain kind of tendencies that we do well, and we want to do more. We also may have some tendencies that we don't do as well, which we may be able to train. 我们有些倾向性可能是我们就与生俱来、天生来就能够。我们可能有些就能力就能够天生就能够做到。We have some tendencies that will do well, so we'll want to do more, and this is something that we really want to do well, and we really want to do. We have also some areas that we may not be able to do so well, so we can go for training, development, coaching, and so on, so that we can be better. 有些方面嘛，是我们有那些倾向性，我们可以接受培训，可以接受一些辅导教练啊，可以越做越好啊。So this are two areas, and of course, there will be tendencies that we have. 我们也会有一些倾向性，是 we are absolutely hopeless. 我们有些倾向性是就是别瞎折腾，别白折腾。Right, so it's hopeless. It's don't even bother. Right, these are the tendencies. These are the things that we should give it to our team or team members to help out. Right, so there are three types. The ones that are good, just do more or become better. There are the types that are so-so that we can train and be better, and there are those that we are basically hopeless and we just don't bother with it. We let our team to help us with it. So there are three types. So if we were to force you to use your left hand to write, right, what would be some of the scenarios that will happen if you were to use your left hand to write? 如果我们是说要真的强迫大家用左手来写字，那会有什么样的情景会强迫大家用左手写字？右手坏了 right? If you broke your right hand, this is our young son. He's our resident. So what happens is during Chinese New Year. Sorry? If you have interest to really train your both hands, yes. Right, so this is our younger son. What you don't see is actually he's got a sling. he broke his right arm, so he's now writing with his left hand. Right, so it's really happy. Right, so if you broke your master hand, you'll be forced to use your other hand. So sometimes that happens. You may be forced to use something that you're not really familiar. Sometimes, in this case, he has to do his own thing. In other cases, you may want to delegate that to your other team members. Right, so the good news about him is that his teacher actually commented that even though he's using his left hand, his handwriting is better than some of those who use their right hand. 就算他用的是左手写字，他的字写的比有些用右手写的字还好看。I think the teacher is talking about me, the dad, my handwriting sucks. Right, so it could be that way. So what we're looking at in a team is not about personality, right? Personality is something even much deeper. Basically, what we're looking at is what will people do in a team. 在我们讲的这个团队角色，不是说你的性格还是你的个性啊，你的性格是更加深层的一本书，你基本上就是在看行为 right? How you will behave and act in a team. Right? So that's the main focus. So behavior basically is impacted by, part of it is your personality, it's part of it. Part of it is because you are in the team, you are made to do some things. 你在团队，你有一个团队角色，你需要做某些事情。So on the role, you may want to change a certain behavior. You may have some external influences, 外部的一些影响。Could be external influences, could be the company culture, could be if you're not from China, you come to China, and Chinese have cultures, it's external influence. It could be the books you read, the people you meet, and so on. It could be based on past experience. So based on what you learned in the past, you can change your behavior. Your own values and motivations. Actually, if you are talking about values, your personality, part of your personality is also your values. We'll not go into what is defining what is personality here. It's a very deep psychological, university level kind of discussion. But basically, what defines your personality? Part of it actually is your value. 你的那个性格的一个部分的定义，跟你的价值观有关。So that's one part. And of course, your mental abilities, how smart you are, how much IQ you have. Okay, so this all of these is going to impact your behavior in the team, and this is where we are mainly focusing on. Okay. So broadly, again, we will not go into very detail. We'll send you the PPT, and you can actually have more reference to that. If you need more. If you're the kind that really like to have a lot more information and like to have more analysis and research, let us know. We'll send you the books. Right? If you have the time to read books, we'll send everything to you. So if you really want to do that, but for today, just for general understanding, as mentioned earlier, there are 3 broad categories in the team roles. 在就是团队角色里面3大分类，有行动的，有那个社交的，有思考。我们今天也就大致上讲的就框而已。They focus still on goals. We just use this as a connector, as an interlocutor to talk about goals. Right? So in the action-oriented part, we have think three subcategories or 3 main team roles. The first one is what we call a shaper. Right? 中文叫编组者. So the symbol is a whip. Right? So that's the shape part. These are people who are very goal-oriented, achievement-oriented. They want to have results quickly. They are very direct. They will drive people to do some things, and sometimes they drive people crazy. Right? They want to do a lot of things, and they want to get people to go into shape and give commands, give instructions, and get things done. Okay, so they are forceful, they are assertive, and sometimes they don't know when not to pick a fight. 所以我们这个人就比较那个什么争强好胜、争强好斗，有时候不该斗的也去斗。So this is the shaper type people. Every role will have its strengths and the weaknesses. 每个角色都有它的强跟弱。So the key question is how do you then fit different people of different roles into the team to achieve the goals? So that's a key thing. Number 2 is what we call an implementer. 第二种叫执行者。 it does not mean that if you are not an implementer, you cannot implement things. 并不代表你如果不是执行者，你就不会去执行任何事情。Right? The name implementer is just a name. It's just what we call this person. Right? 执行者只是一个符号，一个代号啊，一个名称。So implementers basically what they do is to convert ideas, not their own ideas, other people's ideas, or convert plans into actions. So if someone has an idea, they'll put the idea into a plan. If someone has a plan, they'll put a plan into action. They are very highly disciplined, very efficient. They will actually follow through what is step 1, 2, 3, and 4, and have a very clear, concise, step-by-step actions, and are very consistent. Right? These are the people who are very good in manufacturing and production. 那些车间的厂长，就是制造业的一些生产经理，其实很多都是执行者。A lot of production managers are implementers. Okay, so these are people. That's a good thing. They are very good in executing step-by-step kind of operations. The downside is that they are less flexible. If you want to change the plan, they really hate it. Right? You want to change what to do next or change a certain process, unless it helps them to improve their efficiency. 除非能够提高它的效率 Otherwise, they really, really hate it. Okay, so this is part of implementer. So that they're less flexible. The third part is what we call a completer finisher. Right, 完成者. So completer finisher, as the English name mentioned, basically you want things complete to be completely finished. Right? You want things perfect. The joke is that if you're a guy, 如果你是男生 and you are married, the wife will make you complete. Right? If you have an affair outside, 如果在外面有那个有什么花头嘛 right? Then you may be finished. So this is the distinction between what is complete and what is finished, right? And if your wife caught you with your outside whatever, right? Then you are completely finished. Right? So that's someone asked what's the differentiation of complete and finished. English words definition. But anyway, completer finishers are people who are perfectionists. They want to see things perfect. They are very meticulous and 就是很注重细节, right? They tend also to be well organized. They want to make sure that things are in the right place at the right time. They will make sure that things are exceeding other people's or customers' expectations. So they're they really have an eye for details, and they really could not stand things that are not in place. 对于一些错误或者一些不好的东西就比较眼中的也容易下一个沙子。So that's a complete finisher. The downside is that these people are very hardworking. They're the hardest working people in the whole team. 在整个团队里面，这些人是最卖力的，最给力的。The downside is they tend to do all the work and not delegate to other people. 就他们就经常就会揽所有的活自己做，然后不会放手放权给他人。Why do they do that? They tend to do everything and not delegate it. Perfection. And what about perfection? There's a thinking that other people may not do as a good job as they do. 别人做的没有自己好。Right? As a result, they tend to do everything. And what happens when you tend to do everything? Two things will happen. One is on you and one is on team. On you, you will die of overwork. Right? 这叫什么？这变诸葛亮，这叫诸葛亮的鞠躬尽瘁，死而后已，不是鞠躬尽瘁，是死而后已。You die from overwork, right? So that's on you. The negative impact on the team. What do you think will be the negative impact on the team? If you tend to do everything yourself, right? At the beginning, the team is going to be very happy because they don't have to do anything, right? But after some time, they don't like it because there's nothing to do, right? And then what is my value? How do I get a raise? How do I get a promotion? How do I do something and I'm too bored? So it has that negative impact on the team on the long term. That the team has got nothing to do or they don't grow as a person. Right? So that's the downside of complete finisher. And then on the social or oriented roles, we have again three by three. So the first one is coordinator, 协调者. Again, coordinator is just a name. 协调者只是一个名称. It doesn't mean that if you're not a coordinator, you will not be able to coordinate. It doesn't mean that. 并不代表你不是协调者就不会协调事情. Coordinator basically, as what is shown over here, is the symbol is a conductor. 那个指挥就是交响乐指挥家. So what they do is they know by gut feel or by otherwise, they know who is the best person to do what kind of job. They know how to allocate the best person. They know how to prioritize things according to different people. Right? So these are people who really know how to coordinate between people, prioritize. Under pressure, they usually can stay calm and appear confident. 就在遇到压力的时候，能够就是自信冷静。These are the main traits. The good side, of course, is because they know how to manage relationships, they know how to coordinate between people, allocate the right things for the right people to do. That's a good thing. The downside is if they overdo that, they may actually coordinate everyone so that they don't have to do anything. 就是协调嘛，把自己的工作都协调掉，这也是工作。They could do that, or in a bad way, in order to coordinate, they may overly manipulate, 就是操纵他人. They can be manipulative towards other people. So that's part about coordinator. The second one is what we call team worker. Again, team worker is a name. Doesn't mean that if you're not team worker, you're not part of a team. There's a difference between team worker and team player. 这种 team worker 跟 player 的一个解释不一样. Everybody needs to be a team player, right? It's just that team worker is just the name of that role. 这跟凝聚者一样，就不是说你不是凝聚者，你是不能够聚的，不是概念，这只是个名称。What a team worker does, this you can see from the symbol, these are two persons holding hands. These are the nice people. These are the people that if you have problems, if you meet difficulties, you are stressed out, they will come around and comfort you. They will talk the nice things and make you feel better. They will take care of you. You can actually feel their care and concern for you. Right? These are nice people. Now, in a team, sometimes it's good to have the nice people, right?